Hello everyone, today I am going to be sharing our March update with you guys. I think it's been a while since I've shared an update, I think since December, so I have a lot to catch you guys up on. So I'm going to basically be going over what's working for us, what's not working for us, the challenges in our life and homeschool, and all of the things today. So as far as curriculum, so for my kindergartner, we are using the Good and the Beautiful, and that is working out beautiful. We are enjoying it so much. The lessons are short, they're to the point, it's not overwhelming for her, and it is fun. It's helping her to grow in reading and learn and actually enjoy addition and subtraction, and I could not be more happy with those curriculum choices for her because she is just thriving in what she's doing right now. Now, I do have some qualms about their language arts for kindergarten. I feel like not all of the days are consistent. Some days are very short and then other days are very long, and it would be nice if these curriculum companies would actually have like their own kids doing the curriculum, so then they could fine tune it and make sure that every single day is consistent with like the same amount of reading. And then that way, you know, your children aren't just being overworked one day and they're like, no, I don't want to read anymore. But other than that, it's been really nice. Now for my fourth grader, I am not impressed. I do not like it, and we are going to be changing next year. Now, his math is not too bad. I actually really like it. It's very... I don't even know what the word is that I'm looking for, but it's fun. They do a lot. They do like some art lessons, which speaks to his heart. He loves art. However, I don't like that when they're going over how to learn a new concept and they give you a very simple example of a problem, and then that they walk you through on like together with the book. And then when they give the child their independent work, it is a more complex problem. That drives me crazy. Like, if you're going to give complex problems, then give a complex example. Don't just give us very simple example and then expect them to soar with this brand new information that they're just now learning. Another problem that I have with their math curriculum is that the parent guide just gives the answer. It doesn't give you a step-by-step walkthrough on how they got to that answer. So, and this is coming from somebody who's really good at math, who loves math. Math is one of my favorite subjects, but that doesn't mean that I remember every single little detail on everything that I've ever learned. Sometimes I need refreshers. And so, there has been one or two times this year. I mean, not too many. It's not like I'm doing this every single week where I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? But I don't like the fact that there's just, I don't know. It feels like it would just be better if they would change their teacher guide, especially for those parents who don't like math. They could care less about math. They're like, I don't even want to look at math. Please just take it off my plate. I think it would be better if they would give parents a step-by-step guide on how to solve the problems instead of just expecting their one simple explanation to withstand all of the problems that they're going to throw at the child. For their language arts, you guys know, if you've been here, I have struggled. My son has struggled with this curriculum for a while. I think I've already mentioned that we did try to change, but it didn't work out. And then we just decided to keep it and to finish out the year with it and make some alterations with it, which is the beauty of homeschooling. One of the things that I did, they have a lot of geography in the language arts curriculum, so I completely took out any questions and work related to geography. Unless that's like basically like the whole lesson for the day is to just identify borders of the countries or states and answer a few questions on that, then I just leave it. But for the most part, I've taken out the majority of the geography work, and he only does what's related to language arts. So whether that's noun work, verbs, sentence diagramming, and things like that, that's what I have him do. As far as our history, I am loving Beautiful Feet books. I don't ever think, and like knock on wood, I don't think that I will ever use a different history curriculum. I love their curriculum so much. Actually, no, I am looking at a different history curriculum for next year, so I will take that back. But I love their curriculum so much, and I will always support them and promote them because they are just phenomenal in the way that they teach, you guys. We have also been really enjoying their geography curriculum. It is fun. It is, what is that word? I don't know what that word is. It's engaging. It is so engaging for my kids. They love learning through literature. So they have done a beautiful job with the curriculum that they have created and the way that they reach kids' hearts and minds. For science, that has not worked for us. We have been using the history of science from Beautiful Feet books, and I actually kind of stopped using it. Instead, we've just been reading through some of the books instead of doing their lesson plans that they have in the teacher's guide. It's not that it's bad. It's a really great curriculum, and I do plan on using it to its full extent as my kids get older. But for right now, it is way too much work for a kindergartner. So we have just basically been reading through some of the books and enjoying the information that we're learning. Next year, I think I'm just going to go back to making my own science unit studies. They were so much more fun for the kids. They were enjoying science. They loved it. And it was just kind of like, you know, a fun subject to learn that was like a break from, felt like a break from learning, but while you're still actually learning. So I'm going to go back to doing that for next year. And I think that's it as far as curriculum. We have been loving the not consumed studies. They have been really fun. In some ways, I would like studies that go a little deeper into the Bible and just reading it on a daily basis. We did take a break from them and we tried Priscilla Schreier's Armor of God unit study, and that has been, or devotional, and that has been amazing. It's been so fun, but it's not open and go. It's more written for church leaders, and so there's just a lot of words and things that you have to do that I don't always want to do just because it doesn't make sense for our setting. But it is very flexible and fluid. You can definitely change it to how you want to change it. And the kids have learned so much about the armor of God, and as well as I. And it's been just so great to learn that type of study together. And so we have really enjoyed that one. Now, looking forward to next year. You guys, I was like this close to joining a co-op, and then I realized, what am I doing? Because the main selling point was that they have a program for my toddler, and I don't know about you, but I always feel like I'm not doing enough with my toddler. I don't feel like I sit down and read to him enough. I don't feel like I do any crafts with him. I don't do any crafts with him. I do give him Play-Doh and I give him, you know, little things here and there to do, but I don't feel like I do enough. And so I was so excited over this co-op because they have a whole curriculum that they follow with their preschoolers, and they do such fun crafts and activities. And my kids really miss the classical conversation setting where they had weekly friendships that they were able to build every single week with the same kids and things like that. So I really wanted to join this particular co-op that we found in our area. But at the end of the day, the main selling point was that they had a program for my toddler, and not that I actually wanted to make all the changes that they were requiring, because we would have had to completely change our curriculum and follow the curriculum that they have, because they send home, you know, homework assignments and things like that. And at the end of the day, it just wasn't something that I wanted to put into practice. I love having the freedom and the flexibility to pick curriculums that I know are going to, you know, better suit my kids, and change curriculums when they're not working and things like that. So here is your reminder that if you are about to join a co-op, to really truly think about all that they're requiring and see if it's something that you actually want to live up to. Because I was like this close, you guys. I actually needed one of my friends, you know who you are, to remind me not to join it because it wasn't what I was gonna want to do, especially because they have you use IEW and Apologia Science didn't work for us this year. and I don't think my son is going to want to do IEW. So think long and hard before joining any co-op where you have to use their curriculum, because it may be the right fit and it may not be. And in my case, it wasn't going to be. I just was kind of desperate for friends. So make sure that you are really praying over this situation, because sometimes it can be a lot of money, sometimes it can just be a lot of effort if you have to teach a class. But whatever you're going to invest your time, money, or heart into, you should think about it pretty in depth before you just go joining. So just a reminder, because I know sometimes I need that reminder, so I wanted to give you guys that reminder. And moving on to just regular life stuff. You guys, this month has not been easy at all. We started off the month with mice in our house. Then there's construction going on and near us, and somehow they ended up here despite how much I clean. And it was the most like horrifying moment of my life when I saw this mouse run across my bedroom floor. I wanted to die. And you guys, it was a whole ordeal. It took a few weeks, but we finally caught all of them, and it was terrifying, but they are gone. And then the day after we got rid of them, one of my children has an autoimmune disorder, and they woke up with a flare-up. And it was so hard to watch my child be in pain and wait for the hospital to be able to get them in for a procedure, and just going through the day-to-day of trying to manage their pain and trying to make doctor's appointments and trying to just deal with all of the emotions, theirs and mine. It's been a struggle. And then on top of that, this is the month that my baby would have been due. And so it's hard. It's hard to homeschool and show up every day when you're still grieving so much. And this is not normally something that I would just open up and share about, but I know that it's helpful when other people are going through the same thing and you hear that, because it just it lets you know that you're not alone and that you're not crazy for still being sad, no matter how long it's been since your loss. And I know that so many of you wonderful moms had opened up when I shared my video on having a miscarriage, and you said how you had had one too, and how heartbroken you were, and how some of you were even still grieving over that loss. And I'm starting to get to the point where I think I'm just always going to grieve this loss. I don't think I'm ever going to get to a point where I'm not crying over it at some point or another. And I'm starting to realize that even when I think I'm over it, there's always a new trigger, and I don't know, there just aren't words. So if you're one of those moms who reached out after I posted that video, or maybe you never, commented below and, talked about your own experience, just know that I'm thinking of you, and that I hope that you're finding things that show you God's grace and mercy in this, because His mercies are new every single day. And while the pain may never go away, He is always there for us, and He does have a beautiful plan for us and our babies, no matter how short their life was. I recently listened to this wonderful podcast. I had actually mentioned her devotional by Abby Wedgwood in that video, or in one of my videos that helped me to just initially start grieving. And she did a podcast with Risen Motherhood. I'll link it down below in case it could be of help to you. But it was nice to hear that podcast and hear her talk about miscarriage, and hear the very thoughtful questions that Risen Motherhood had asked her, and to just be given a voice in sometimes what feels like a situation where people approach you like, well, you should already be done grieving. There's no right or wrong time when it comes to grieving the loss of your child. It doesn't matter how long you carried them. So yeah, this month has been a challenge, to say the least. It has been very hard in some ways, and it has been very grace-filled in other ways, and it's been it's been a journey. So we are about to finish out our homeschool year, which I am super excited about, and I actually think that this is the very first year that we are going to finish every single lesson in our books, because while this month has been hard, we haven't really hit that like burnout mode that you usually hit around the March-April time frame. Watch, I say that, and then like next week we're gonna be hitting burnout. It's gonna be ridiculous. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. It feels like quite an accomplishment. Let me know down below, how is your month going? If you like this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and I'll see you again later. Bye.